Hi everyone, this is the first video of our Kanid YouTube channel that we are going to code Python. So, today we will code a simple thing in Python. Very simple. This thing might confuse you a bit, but the way to code it is very simple. So today we're going to code a programs that show you the multiplication table of the number that you insert in. Okay, so first thing we need to ask the user that what the user wants to insert. So you need a variable first, but first you need to add input. And it says that this will be the input of this question. So the question that we will write it in this one, like what multiplication table do you want to see? Okay, and then you will answer after this one, like over here, and I'm using VS Code. Okay, in case you're wondering, which VS stands for Visual Studio, okay? So it's Visual Studio Code. And I'm not using like the normal Python. Because like the normal Python over here, if I the file type it would say like youtube.py, right? But this one is youtube.ipynb. And the reason is because I don't want to waste time. Okay. And this app is a very good app that you could code lots of languages in here. Okay? Including Python, Java, JavaScript. Okay, those things. Okay, you could download it. It's free. Microsoft made it. And there are lots of extensions. Okay? In here. You see this one? Yeah. That's the extension. See? It says extensions. And okay, back to our coding. So you have a place to like insert the answer. The question is, how will you get the answer? The way that you get the answer is to get a variable and then equals to the input of the question. Okay? Let's say number 1. Okay, let's say number 1. And I want to introduce you to the 4 most important things in coding, which number 1, here, I'll show you. So, number 1, it is string. You might be wondering what is a string. So, string encoding doesn't mean the same thing as the string, like the line. Like this, it doesn't mean the string, the line that we can touch like that. It doesn't mean like that. But string, okay? Okay. So string in coding is basically text. Okay? It is basically text. Like text like like hello world, like that. Okay. And number two, it is integer. And you might be wondering too, what is integer? So integer equals to numbers, but those numbers don't don't have decimals. Okay, it doesn't have decimals, and this is a example. Oh, I would write the example of this one down here. Example, hello world. This one example would be like 51 and etc. Okay, let's say 50 and 1, okay? Keep it simple. Number 3, it would be float. You would be asking, what is float? It's not the same thing as like floating around a on water like that. It wouldn't be like that. Okay? So float is also numbers. It's basically numbers. It's integer and floats are basically numbers. But float are numbers that have decimals. Okay? For example, like 50.0 or like 1.567, whatever you want it to be. It just needs to have a decimal point and the first number in decimals. Okay? Like, or maybe like 5.1, like that. And the fourth thing, the last and the important thing when you use like to order things like that, not exactly, but it is very important in most things, which is boo. Okay, it's bowl or bowline. It is actually called bowline, but the boo that I just told you is short name. So bowline, uh, in math it would be like shapes on each other, right? Like it would be like a square combined to a diamond, like that, right? But in this case, it's not. So a boolean is a statement. Okay? For example, it would be like if 5 is more than 8, like that. And all of them have short names. Okay? So we will see the short names of each of them. Short name of string is str. The short name, okay, name of integer is int. The short name of float is basically float. And the short name of boolean is basically boo if you call it. If you call it. Because actually it doesn't have a short name. Because it doesn't need to have, okay? For people who are wondering why. Okay, so when we run this thing, we would wait. Okay, connecting. Wait for it to connect. Wait a minute. Okay, so my question will be up here, but for yours, it won't be up here except you downloaded the extension and the file type is IPYNB. Okay, so if I press 8, nothing would happen. Okay, and for I in range, I is a variable. All variables colors should be light blue. But if it's blue, it would be a statement like this. This is blue. The true is blue, which means it's a statement. And there are only two kinds of blue, which is true and false. Okay? Because it's a boolean. So the for I in range is like number is like it would set the value of I to be 1 first. And then it would stop at the number 12, which means the program below it, inside it, won't work. So we would need to set it to 13, and it's start, stop, step. This is start, this is stop, and this is step. Step is 1, but if you don't put it, it will be the default, which is 1 basically. Okay, so let's do this. So we will need to print. Okay, let's get the F. So the F doesn't stand for the F word anyway. It stands for function. Okay. And let's see. So we will need to set the value. Like you're doing times multiplication. Okay? It would be like num1 times I equals to num1 times num1 times I. Okay? So basically num1 is the value of the answer, and I is the value of this integer. You see it says int. Okay. And so the answer times the integer and variable equals to num1 times I. So it's basically the answer times the index, okay? But this won't work. If you don't trust me, I approve it. Okay, so I would answer 5, for example. It's error. You see, it's an error. You see? 1 5, 2 5, 3 5, 4 5. This is 12 fives, okay? And the reason is num1 is a string. And if you times a string with an integer, The answer would be uh would be the value of the would be the amount of that string, and the amount of that string would be the number of the integer. Okay, so we need to change this thing by changing the num. Okay, so we're going to forecast this thing. I can't remember how do you call it. It's something cast. I would say forecast first because I can't remember. Actually, you could also change it into a float, but like this is first a string, and then you change it to a float, right? Which you could not do that, and the reason is because you cannot change strings into float. So we're going to keep it in integer. Okay. I would say the 5 multiplication table, please. Yes. Okay, got it. Let's see the 12 multiplication table. That seems correct. Let's try again. The 11 multiplication table. Okay. That seems correct. If it's 100. Okay, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Actually, you could try with some more numbers like that. Or if you're crazy enough, just try 1 million. Okay, we got 1 million. Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, so I hope you have fun with this video. I hope you like this video. Um, Bye. See you next video, and sorry for taking the video so long that it's 17 minutes already. Bye. I want to tell you that actually the video was so long because of explaining these things. Okay? Uh Thanks for watching. Bye. And in the next video we will be uh explaining you about functions and loops, okay? Bye.